Hi guys, it's me again, Dan Cooper. Uh, so I put out my first series of machining videos there about 2 weeks ago, and I think it went pretty good. Gained a few subscribers, had a few nice comments. I've had, quite a few views on all of them. So here we are again. I'm going to make my next set of videos. First one was 3 parts. This one's probably going to go more than that. On the first set, they was all around 20 minutes. I'm going to try to keep these a little bit shorter, probably 10 to 15 minutes a piece. But we'll put these up and see how it goes. Thank you to everybody that did watch them, and to my new subscribers. The next project here, it's going to be another rifle sight, but this one's going to be quite a bit bigger project. It's making a set of front and rear sights. It's going to be a flip up Tang style long range sight for one of my muzzle loaders, and then I'm going to make a front sight to go with it. Here's the gun. This Thompson Center Hawken 45 caliber muzzle loader. This is probably, I'm going to say this is the second favorite gun that I own. It's a really good rifle. It shoots great. It's fun to shoot. I don't know how many of you's ever messed around with black powder and muzzle loaders, but it's just a lot of fun to shoot these things, and I really enjoy hunting with them. It just kind of takes you back in time. They're just a lot of fun all the way around. But this gun shoots really good, but with the factory sights, I guess I'm just hard to please when it comes to sights. They're, limited on range, just because this thing wasn't really meant to be shot much past 100, 150 yards. And the rear sight has about enough adjustment on it. It might get you to 150, but I kind of like to take and stretch these things out and just see what they'll do. So I need more adjustment. The other thing is, these sights are fine for hunting and just general use, but if you want to get real precise, you want a sight that doesn't cover up a lot of the target. And this thing's got a great big fat bead on the front sight. The rear sight's a big wide notch. By the time you get on a target, even at 50 yards, if it's not a very big target, you're covering up the majority of that thing, and you can't tell if you're holding in the center or high or low because you're covering up most of the target. So, that's the other thing that this is going to accomplish, is it's going to give me a lot finer sight picture, as well as giving me plenty of adjustment for range. The other thing is, I prefer an aperture style or peep style sight versus, just a notch. I just think they're just better. Your eye is naturally going to center that front sight in the aperture, and you just put the tip of that front sight where you want to hit, and you're there. So, like I say, this is going to be a flip up vernier style sight. It's going to mount about here, probably stand about this tall, and when it's not in use, it'll lay back flat back this way. Then the front sight is going to be a globe style sight with changeable inserts that you put in it that basically changes the shape of your aiming point on your front sight, just for depending on what you want. So like I say, this is going to be a multi-part video. I don't know how many, just whatever it takes. But tonight we're going to make the first part, which is the mount that's going to mount the sight to the tang of the rifle. It's pretty simple. It's going to be made out of brass. It's just some simple turning. There's some threads I have to put on it, but I can't do that tonight because I don't have a 1032 die, and as small as this is, it's not very long, and small threads, it's just as easy to throw them on there with a die than mess around trying to thread it with the lathe. So like I say, it's just going to be some simple turning, and we'll get this part done, and then we'll move on to the next part another time. And I'm going to try to work on this a little bit each night here. You know, maybe make a different part each night here for the next week or so. And you know, I should be able to get the thing done, you know, fairly quick that way. So I'll rearrange the camera here. I'll find me a piece of brass and we'll get started. Alright, got me a piece of brass chucked up here, and I need to face the end off. This part's going to be 3/4 long total. I need to turn 1/4 inch of it down to 188 so that I can thread it 1032, and then I need to turn 1/2 of it. Just this is 1/2 inch stock, and I just need to clean it up so it's not, you know, anything real super critical. I need it somewhere around 1/2 inch, so I'll just make a real light just clean up pass on the rest of it. Okay, that looks good. Alright, we'll check it here and see where I'm at. Okay, I'm within a couple thousandths according to this. Check it with my mic, make sure. Okay, according to my mic, I'm at 75, 85, 90, 191 plus a little bit. So I need to take about 3 thousandths off. I'm going to dial in 2 here. Okay, I'm at 185, 86, 7, 8. I'm at 188 and 4/10. So we're going to call that good. Now I'm going to come back here and just make a little cleanup cut on, well, I got to get my just about screwed up there. I got to get my length final here. I want that length to be 250. Right now it is 229. So I need to come in I need to face about 21 thousandths off of this back shoulder. too much there. Check that, see where I'm at. Got about another 5 thousandths to go, roughly. So that should put me just pretty darn close. We're at 251. They're just a little past my mark there. That's all I really need to do with that. It doesn't look too terrible. Taking barely knock this edge off just a little bit right here. And this in here. Now, I gotta get resituated here. I'm gonna cut this off, turn this around, and face this end, and then I'm gonna have to put it in a vise because this top has to be rounded, not like a ball end, but just a flat rounded top on it. So once I get it cut to length, which I'm actually probably going to end up cutting it just a hair long, I'll put it in a vise and I'll round this top over with a file.